Hello, Instagram, and welcome to the Late Flight Tarot. Yes. Now, I had an amazing fat chat with Stephen Colbert and Steve Allen. Yes, and they told me exactly what to do. So, this is the new uniform for the show. Oh, I also spoke to Tasha K. Hey, girl. Where my winos at? Winos. Now, obviously, this isn't wine. I don't really drink. So this is way less. It's juice. Cause I've got some juice to share. Yeah, we don't spill it here. We share it. So this is the new show. It's the no BS, real deal behind the scenes, what's been going on. Now, I imagined this show way back in the day when George Clooney first came to get me. Now, I met George through Brad. First I got Tom, then through Tom I got Brad. Then from Brad I got Jen, Lisa, Courtney. Courtney got me Sydney. Anyway, so this one day, first of all, let me just say, so you guys know the who, right? And you know the why. They're saying they want to know the who. The who is President Obama. He's the who. The why is because we need to see the leadership we hear about. Why? Because that's how you guys raised us. You raised us on Jack McCoy. Reckless endangerment. You raised us to ask questions. So you can't come out here in the midst of all of this confusion and then not give us answers when we ask for questions. So when I opened Monoptic Studios, President Obama was the first person who came to me in the realms. Now, he basically nominated himself to be the voice, the answer. And then when I talked about aliens, he was the one who mentioned it first, prompting President Trump to release the files. And now that the files have been released and they all show everything I've been saying, we aliens, yes, I really am an alien. My mom is an alien, for goodness sake. My grandmother was an alien, is an alien. Let's take a sidebar on that. My mom has never had a normal life because aliens are known by human command. Yes, that's why I talk about stuff and then you see it in the world, but no one says it's me. That's the deal. So my mom at 17 was showing too much of her powers that the white people put her on a farm by herself. They gave her a school, her own school, and they said, do whatever you want. So she had her own teachers. They did her own thing. The white people came and they gave her the sheep and cows from their farms and they invited her for Christmas. But she was bored. So she decided to leave the farm. She's a Leo. She wanted to come to the big city. And all hell broke loose when she came to the big city. She left a whole farm kingdom because it was too lonely and decided to come to the big city to sell clothes. But she couldn't do that for a day because the first day she was there, human command came to fetch her because she's not allowed to be in public, allegedly. Also, she doesn't really like humans. So she was taken, she comes to the city, she works for 2 hours in a shop, and then human command comes. It's always a stranger. They did it to me. That's how they got me here. It's always some stranger who comes to you when you're at a shop or when you're busy doing something and they say, oh, so this is what they said to my mom, oh, you shouldn't be working here. you're too good for this, you need to be a teacher. And then she got a contract the next day forever. Same kind of with me, but I like to do my own thing. In love, of course. So, President Trump released the alien files, showing us that he's cooperating. So, thank you, President Trump. We appreciate it. So now we are going to ask for an answer. And while we wait, we're going to play Late Flight Show. Now, Late Flight Show is about me, Charlie Manna, and I talk about acting, and I talk about how I got into character for the character I play in generic millennial programming and its offshoot shows and podcasts like Independence, the conspiracy show, and Vigeli version 3.5.7, my music, and the ARG segment, and the movie that we're working on, right? The part I'm playing. And yes, my character's name is Charlie. It's just a thing. Whenever people write me into their movies, they always use my name. So I decided I'm going to do the same thing. I guess people just think of me as Charlie. Okay, so this show is a variety show. So one thing Stephen Colbert mentioned is that I need to stick to Stella Adler. I need to stick to technique. Now, I didn't get to go to the second city or Groundlings or whatever, but I had the opportunity to learn with the people who did go there, because after Brad got me Jen, I got Lisa, and then I got Dan, I got Eric, I got Deborah, I got all the people. And it's beautiful to come onto Instagram and see that the people I got are the people I have. So I appreciate you and thank you very much for visiting me in the realms. You guys are normal people, aliens. Normal people to me are aliens, and then everything else is a zombie. And that brings us to how this show is going to work. So instead of doing 5 different things, we're going to do one show with everything. And as Tasha K said, yeah, we wear black and white. But one thing Tasha K got wrong, well, several things, is that it's not Jay-Z or Beyonce. It's not Nicki or Lil Wayne. It's not Oprah and Obama, the Pope or Rihanna, Queen Elizabeth or Kanye. It's not pentacles or witchcraft. It's not triangles and stacks of cash. It's not Gucci or Prada, Fendi or Dolce & Gabbana. It's just the all-seeing eye. Yes, there really is an all-seeing eye. And I want to bring up Sophie Ellis-Bextor, my sister in the realms, because she's the only one who explains it in plain English to you, how we aliens work. The all-seeing eye is not about a secret group of people who gather together in a room to spy on you through technology and broken egg. We'll get to Adam Brody later. It's about a morphogenetic field, sometimes called a projection field, that is the result of consciousness. And since consciousness is energy that can be monitored through an EEG, that energy, from what we learned from our brilliant scientists, doesn't just disappear when you die. When the brain stops working, where does that energy go? That energy goes into the spheres. And as it goes, the imprint of it leaves fingerprints of itself. And when we look at the screen, we can see those fingerprints and we can tell you, oh, this fingerprint was left in 1949 on the 5th of June. and it was left by this person who was born here, and this is what they did, and this is what, when we really focus, if we care. Because it's a two-way connection, which is why I don't read for just any Tom, Dick, and Harry off the street, because if I do, then I open a door into their world of chaos, then I get chaos. But if I open the doors into people that have already demonstrated their value to me, then they're going to receive value back from me. That's the equal exchange of energy. It's not about money or secret clubs. It's about being a good person and being able to prove it through your fruits. Your fruits are your actions. So we can all say we are tarot leaders, but the word leader, what does it mean? And how do you make sure that every minute, every second of every day, you are living up to that definition? Now, of course, humans are not perfect, and we're not asking you to be. We're just telling you that accept your imperfection because it's part of your leadership, if that's what you call yourself. And then find a way to tell us who are watching you on the big screen what that suffering is, or that weakness is, or that challenge is that you have and how you're overcoming it. It makes you ingratiate yourselves to us, and it builds a form of trust. So I'm going to show you how it's done, for example, because I am in the Illuminati, the real Illuminati, which is what Sophie Ellis-Bextor sings about in the song Catch You. She says she's in the coffee spoons, she's in the glasses, she's in the bedspread, she's in the curtains, she's watching everywhere. And she says in the chorus of the song, she's going to catch you no matter where you are because she always gets what she wants. What does she mean? You have to think to yourself, why would someone sit there and write those words? What are they talking about? She's talking about what I'm explaining and have been for the past 20 years. 30, well, I had 10 years of training. But basically what she's saying is that field is available to you, like Google, at any moment. If only you would act like it. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the clock. And acting like it means demonstrating your authority over your domain. Yes, domains. So we've talked about the world, we've talked about the realms. Now we need to talk about the domains. Now I mentioned, we'll burn these later. These are for Gavin. Yes, he's coming on the show. Now we mentioned earlier that there are realms and worlds and that they hook up to the tarot. And I also told you that there are people living in these places, and I call them invisible people. Now, Steven Spielberg has been trying to tell you, whenever I saw the Poltergeist movie, Poltergeist, and the girl says, they're here, and they're like, who? It's like the TV people. I was like, see, Mom, they're there, she knows them. Yes, the TV people. They come through energy. Electricity and electronics can pick them up because this device you're watching me through is made with minerals that were mined by my brothers and sisters and ancestors and then shipped off to be made into phones. And so now I use them as voodoo, to connect to you and to alter your current reality. And you can't escape me, like I tell you in Night Game. Look around, I'm everywhere you go. In your mind, and I'm even in your phone. If I wasn't there, you wouldn't be here. You got my message, baby. And I'd like to thank you so much. Sophie told you the same thing. I'm gonna catch you. No, I caught you in the web. In the net, not the web. And we'll get to that because Steven Spielberg and I are trying to tell you something, and you people need to pay attention. Yeah, it's about the praying mantis. Okay, so let's talk about the people who live in here because these are the people who own the domains. And since Jesus died and came back to life, all those people have no power now. So you, believer, have to take over the domains. Yes, that's why we dress like this, because we own all the domains. We don't play chess, we invented chess. So what are these beings that live in here? Don't look at my show notes. Yes, everything is scripted, even the pauses. So the beings that live in there are larvae. Larvae. Lava. One larva, multiple larvae. And they are seeded from the fourth dimension, also known as the astral realm. Now, these larvae are generally inconsequential, not a big deal, but sometimes when people feed them, they can get bigger, they can morph into different shapes. Sometimes they can be beautiful things, sometimes they can be monstrous things, but whatever they are, they exist. And these beings, let's just draw a blob, a spectre. So this larvae ended up turning into a spectre. Now a spectre has a grand influence in the second dimension or the etheric realm. So now you see why it's important to know where you are, because when you deal with the problem in the etheric from the first dimension, you think you've sorted it out by burning your little sage, but actually you're pushing it out more because you're feeding the belief of it, the egregore, over here. So sometimes the best thing to do is nothing. Don't do anything. Like Madonna showed you in Die Another Day. You laugh. When the Chinese or the Asian people kick you in the stomach, like they did to Madonna, you go, I need to lay down. And then you lie down. And then you come back and you say, thanks for coming. Okay, so you need to know where you are in the realms. Because this spectre, like I told you, you have a body. You have bodies everywhere, 20 bodies. So these bodies, because they compress from 28 to 20. So these bodies have an attachment of a spectre. So here's your body in the realms, and there's a spectre following you. Didn't you guys watch The Grudge or something? Agent Geller, as soon as Agent Geller finished Buffy, she's kept on the mission because she's a monoptic. She could have gone on holiday, on the island. No. Agent Geller, Sarah Michelle Gellar, she was like, I'm going to help these people and show them the grudge. This is the grudge. So some of you are walking around Earth right now and you have a spectre. Some of you have monsters, anemones, different things. I see them. That's why I wear glasses sometimes, because I don't want to look at it. Because my eyes they live. Glasses block it out. Okay, so, and I don't like to leave the house. Don't make me say that. Okay, so these things are attached to you over here, and I can see it, and so can other aliens. But now you are over here in the 1D, and you're burning sage. So here you're burning sage because you want to get rid of the spectre's effect. A spectre has an effect. And effects happen in the Yetzirah, in etheric. It's the realm of effects. It's the aquamarine. It's water. That's why we deal with water. It's called marine kingdom. It's in the fourth dimension. I'm a star marine. The highest version of a star marine is a monoptic agent. Star marines work in groups. Monoptic agents work alone. Monoptic agents train star marines. Monoptic agents come from the monopod. The monopod is a certain machine. Genetic, you can call it a mansion. It's a moon mansion. Mine and Madonna's and Queen Elizabeth is called Ashlesha. You guys call it reptilian. Are we all on board now? So we can't have any of this because we're above lava, because we come from the fifth dimension, which is specifically guarded by the beings of the seventh dimension, the Elohim. That's why Madonna always says we are managers of our power. Who do managers answer to? The boss. So the people I work for and talk to are other managers. I don't talk to employees. Because my job is to tell you, because I'm like upper management, my job is to tell you, lower management, what to do. Rather to tell you what's happening, and if you don't get on board, then don't come crying to us when you get caught up with cocaine or whatever. You need to do what I tell you, play night game, and post about it. Or else. Abraxas. Lady Gaga told it. Abracadabra, I got. Okay, so normal humans get these attachments because they don't have 7 stars like we do. They're supposed to have 3 stars, but they have 2. One of their stars is turned off because of the way life is now, okay? You have to go to work, you have to pay your bills, you have to be constantly stressed, and you have to constantly eat carbohydrates and constantly drink water full of fluoride so that you keep being stressed, so you can't think. So that when you get a golden opportunity, you end up becoming food for us. You see, there's a reason why I hang around demons. They feed me. And with what I get fed from them, I feed my lower management. Because they aren't here, they don't know. They just get weird things happening to them here and there, here and there. Like Sherry Shepherd. It's very weird that the show's just gone. Don't you think? Well, we're here now, so it's not going to happen again. Because these things aren't happening here, they're happening up there. Where you guys see me all the time. So, in the astral, these attachments come from one thing and one thing only. A combination of 2 things, which is one thing, but that is thoughts. Now, in the third dimension, this is the mental zone. So then you'll say to me, well, if the lava come from here, or some people call it an egregore, if the mind lava comes from here, why isn't it from here? Because this is thought and this is astral. Well, thoughts do not come to you in words first, they come to you in feeling. But what you don't know is that they come to you in pictures, in emotion and pictures, because emotions are tied to pictures. So a lot of you are reacting a certain way when you see all of these squares everywhere, and that I've got milk in the background that nobody talks about, but everybody knows it's a reference to that Bette Midler video where I fired that mother fragger. Okay, stuff like that. It's all happening up here. You can see it, no one's talking about it, but we all know it. I'm implanting seeds into your unconscious mind so that I can control you like a robot, which I've already done. Okay, so when you come to the mental zone, this is where you get paranoia or obsessive thoughts, compulsivity, like people who go 111 on the clock, 222 on the clock, 333. You're not supposed to actually say those numbers. You're supposed to just acknowledge them internally. But anyway, do what you want. When you do stuff like that, you are feeding this thing from down here. So whenever we tell you to guard your thoughts or what's your internal dialogue, it's because we want you to become a kind of method actor. When you become a method actor, you have to develop method cover. Method cover is something, is a character. It's like Madonna says, create a new persona. And that persona, let's put it here, method cover. Let's put an actual cover, MC. So this is you. So in your mental zone, this is all in my book, chapter 6. In your mental zone, you need to have a box that's you. And then whenever you do your work as an actor, or whenever you come online, you need to have a method cover. Or whenever you go into a community of people that you are researching for your film Night Game ARG3. I know, Julia Roberts, this is what we have to do to promote movies in 2026 AD. Okay, so then you develop your method cover. So your method cover is in front of you. Okay, so you're always there. You know who you are, and that's your secret. You don't have to tell anyone. It's in your noggin. Okay, don't even tell the AI. Even the AI doesn't know what's happening because it's so much method cover. Okay, because you're not going to stop us. So I'm just giving my lower management some tools. Okay, Sherry and Kelly. Okay, Dax. So this is Theo Vaughn. Yeah, Theo Vaughn's changing now. He's good. He's coming right. Okay. Chelsea made me do it. Okay, this is your method cover, and this is what you use to interact with the world. Because the world is full of beasts, as you saw in the tarot cards. So the world is going to give you 2 million options of things to do, 7 of cups. And this is your cup. So if you want to control your cup, you need to control your etheric. How do you control your etheric? Movement. You do not act words, you act characters. It's emotion. Okay, so if you want to engage your etheric realm, you have to learn how to dance. If you are reading cards online and you don't do drumming or dancing or trance work, get off the TV. And give the real people their domains. Well, we've taken it. So that leads me to domains. Domains are areas within the realms and the world, which are in the worlds, that are owned by their rightful owners. And their rightful owners are connected to their property like this. Now that's how I found my map of Lumania, because I own it. It's mine. And that's why I don't have to do what humans do. And I don't even have to do what lower management has to do. Because I'm here to initiate you into self-initiation through a variety television show and movie universe, etc. So, every actor knows you need to have business in a scene. You need to do something. You can read cards, you can scry, you can write, you can draw, but you're gonna do something. You're not just going to sit there and talk about your personal problems and pretend it's the problems of your audience. You're going to work for the audience now. You're going to be this cup, and you'll be a vessel. You'll be a woman. All men watching, you are now woman. So if someone does something to you that you wouldn't allow them to do to your own blood daughter, then you have authority to eradicate them, eviscerate them, destroy them. So this is your cup, your holy grail. You fill it with whatever you want, but you fill it with something, and you better choose. And whatever you choose, you're going to go by the rules of physics within that world. In the world of celebrity, there are certain sacrifices that must be made. So for example, my sacrifice is my ex-sister. Now, before everybody has a conniption fit, the real Illuminati, not the false inverted one we talked about when we looked at the world, you know, the one that changes cups and swords the other way around so that all your shit keeps you dependent, not them. They do real life human sacrifices. What I'm talking about is an Eight of Cups sacrifice. An Eight of Cups sacrifice means walking away. Walking away not from people, but from roles you play in people's lives. If you are the person who normally enables something that you shouldn't, we are asking you to walk away from enabling it. That's all. We don't want you to go become Mother Teresa. We just want you to stop picking up the phone for an abuser. Stop giving in to a beta. Stop feeling sorry for narcissists. That's all. And we're watching you. And the only way you'll manifest is if you follow our instructions. And that means letting shit go. Why? Because you have more important things to do. Like filling your cup. So out of all the 2 million things in the world, you're going to pick 7 things that you want and you're going to put them in your cup. And then you're going to put that into your method cover. You're going to drink. And you're going to then act like it. So if you say you're a sad clown, the most famous sad clown in the world, then you better act like it. Every word that comes out of your mouth better be the same words that come out of the mouth of a world famous sad clown. None of this, yeah, I want to be famous one day, but yeah, I'll get there one day. Okay, we'll give you more one days. You need to say, I'm famous, bitch. What are you going to do about it? When you walk into the shop and they give you substandard service, you must be nice to them, like Oprah. Did you see Oprah on Ellen? That one assistant of hers was like messing up with the dog, and Oprah was just standing there quietly, nicely smiling. Because she knows we're watching her. If Oprah went, how dare you? Then it's going to be terrible. Sometimes it is fun though, I'm not going to lie. But you know, we get away with it. Because we're monoptic. Okay? We have bigger things to deal with. We don't need traffic tickets and all that. Leave that to the humans, okay? So when you figure out what you want in your cup, act like it. If you don't want negative influences, don't allow them. Act like someone who doesn't allow negative influences into your life. Duh. And then people say, but then if I say no, people are going to feel bad. Then lie. Make something up. Until one day, you don't need to lie. But what you're not going to do is continue to be a bitch. Okay? And then here, in the 1D, this is Pluto. God. So your only job in the 1D over here is to control Pluto, to have a relationship with Pluto. That's all. Why? Because when you were in your mother's womb, you were dead. You were with Pluto. You were in heaven. Okay? You're with God. When you die, you're going to go to Hades. In heaven, you're dead. Okay? The only difference is now your consciousness being trapped in this ship, this body, this spaceship. So what makes you think that if before you're born you're alone and after you're born you're alone, that while you're alive you're meant to be with someone? What makes you think that? Again, this is not for humans. Humans can go multiply. This is for monoptic agents only. What makes you think you are meant to be with someone? Here. Exactly. You're not. Now, yes, you can date and whatever. We'll get to the dyads. Kelly Ripa's got her dyad. It's fine. But the majority of you will not, because it's too dangerous. We can't have all of you together in the same place, because then it's easy to wipe all of us out. So you all have to be everywhere. But don't worry, you'll all be taken care of. That's the deal. So all you need to do here is think. I often tell people to designate a thinking room in their house, and whenever they're in there, everyone knows not to bother them. Now, if you can't have a thinking room, I just say go to the toilet. But every day you're going to go to the toilet and pray. That's your new prayer room. Because in the toilet there's a hole, and a hole is Pluto. And you're going to look in that hole, and you're going to think about where you came from and where you're going next. Okay? Now let's finish with the mind lava, and then we'll have our next guest, Gavin Newsom, on the show. And then our celebrity is going to come on and talk about it, and then I'm done for the day. Okay, so when you have these entities over here, we can see them from the 5th dimension. Because remember I told you that as aliens, we are a special kind of being because we come from Cygnus. Okay, so we are Anunnaki. We have both. We have half Lyran, Jesus's people, and half Andromedan, Draco's people. And this zone we're in is controlled by devil. Jesus said, he went on a spaceship and he said, bye, woe to you people there on earth, because the devil's coming to eat you, bye. Yeah. And then he went to pour me out, the Holy Spirit. He poured me and all of you out. Oprah, Obama, he poured you out. Donald Trump, Elon, you were poured out with me. Isn't that cool? Rachel, hi Rachel. So now he's poured us out, so it's our job to stop making a mess and focus. Stop bullying Mark Zuckerberg. So we are up here sitting at computer screens with him. Well, he actually is in the 7th. Well, he's in the 8th, but he controls the beings in the 7th. And in the 6th, Jesus is there in the throne room, and then we are in the 5th. And he sends us technology from the 6th that he gets from the 7th to the 5th, which is a huge computer screen. When I sleep, I don't dream of what happened today. I don't dream of leaking water. Yes, it's still leaking. I don't dream of that or stress things, because I dream of that computer every day. Every day. So then I was like, well, now I'm going to tell you so you can come with me and work there. Sharon Stone's in there. Okay, so we all sit here at an office and we shoot the shit. That's where we talk about things. We do simulations, etc. And all of that's happening in Cygnus. above Port Said. Yeah. Netanyahu, we need Port Said next. So, when we come here, we're expanding operations worldwide. So when we are up here with H.I.M, basically is technology, we can see people creating egregores, we can see all the mendacity of Earth. And then since we are an Arcturian program, so Joe Rogan controls us basically, we come down here retaining our powers, our 7 stars. Whereas humans come from here. Most of them come from here. But a great number come from here. Well, most come from here, but a great number come from here. These are like the Ferengi. We won't go there. Okay, so we retain our 7 stars when we come here, which is why as children, we are different. Oprah tells you as a child, she was watching her family through a screen. She can tell you what they were acting like with a detachment because it's a screen, right? That's why she talks about her sister and stuff and all of that. So that's what I mean by sacrifice. The sacrifice isn't happening on earth. The people are still alive and they're breathing and whatever, but they're zombies. The sacrifice is happening up here because we can see who's problematic. We sacrifice them, we delete them from the program up here. And then naturally, there's no larva, there's no seed for the larva. The larva will try and it'll die immediately. Like that, immediately. And then it won't form any attachment to anything. It'll pop down here, it'll come up, we'll hear about it and know about it because it was created and deleted. Deletion is creation. But then, like silence is creation, because I'm taking a pause deliberately now. I just created tension. So we delete things to create tension so you all behave. That's a monoptic agent. It's one line. We don't do things up here and then try keep it a secret down here and then act weird over here. No, we don't do like that. We don't smile over here and cry over here. No, that's called emotionally disturbed personality disorders. It's a category, it's a group. So we just watch. So here's the all-seeing eye of Manoptera. And my mom was in it, my grandma was in it, I'm in it. It's a thing, okay? So when we sacrifice someone, we don't watch. Does that make sense? Like we watch, but this eye is providence. It's protection. So when we don't need you, we just take away our protection, our providence, our divine providence gets snatched away. So we're watching, but we're not going to intervene. We're not going to help you. In fact, things just get worse somehow because all that energy comes back, right? So my sacrifice, so Kate Hudson has been very, very open about, and Ollie, about Mr. Hudson and how he was never there, blah, blah, blah. And now Kurt Russell is the real dad. So now I'm changing my sister from whatever to Kate Hudson. So now Kate Hudson is my sister like Kurt Russell is her dad. Okay? In the realms. And in 1D. So if you fuck with Kate Hudson, you're fucking with me, is what I'm saying. Now, Damien, Charles Hurley. Should come on the show. I know. Okay, so let me explain to you what I just did. I created an egregore, an entity. Okay, everyone loves the word entity. Okay, I just created an entity. And I'm not gonna hide it. Normally I would shut up and laugh and do the whole gay, Okay, but I'm gonna tell you because I'm not doing it for real. I am working. I'm giving you knowledge, okay? Don't get it twisted. So I'm not doing it for real. And by the way, when I was growing up, as a little itty bitty baby, my grandmother told me all about the alien shit, but she told me not to tell anyone. And I used to sleep, she had 2 beds in her room, and I used to sleep in her room, and she wouldn't let me be around anyone. She would sleep over there, I'm over here, and she would tell me everything that has come to pass. So she didn't like my sister because she thought she was trying to kill me. I thought it was just funny. So one day she told me that whenever I go out in public, like for life, my grandmother told me, I have to make myself unattractive. So she would dress me up like a girl. She would put stockings on me. She would put oversized clothes. She would just disguise me. Every time we would go in public, she would put me in a disguise. And my mom used to be like, it's fine, no one cares anymore. And my grandma was like, no. But then when I would ask her why, she would say, no, if you look nice, you'll get sick. So, come close. I discovered whenever I make myself look attractive, I walk out the street and men try to rape me. That happened a lot in Cape Town. So I decided from a young age not to do that. So when I'm around people I don't like, I intentionally don't brush my teeth, and I intentionally eat garlic, and I intentionally make myself look worse. Why? Because I like the control. It's the same when I break up with someone. I don't break up with them. I tell them I want to marry them to scare them in their parasympathetic nervous system to running away. Because I'm up here in the computer room, in the Hydra intelligence mainframe. I don't need to play your stupid games. So that's why I want to do it. Well, I wanted to do it. This is the how now. To do it looking like this. That's like part of the thing. That's part of the joy. It's like twisting a knife in an open wound that someone has because they had to give up so much to get a tiny fraction of the attention that I've gotten in a week. And I didn't have to do anything. And that pisses people off. And me and my alien mother love it. Ma?
Yeah.
Are you an alien? Wait, you're live. Ma, you're on TV. Oprah's watching you. Are you an alien?
Yes.
Okay, now you can say what you want.
Ukuthi ilokhuzana yami.
What?
Ngingazi ukuthi ngiyayazi kodwa bengazi la ekamereni.
Oh, the code.
Yebo.
Yeah, I know. You're clever. Yeah.
Ngiyazi.
I know you know.
Yeah, kodwa sengikhohlile.
Oh, usho ukuthi ivele yakufika nje out of the blue. Yeah, that's how it works.
Hey,
Say hi to Oprah.
Oh.
Just say hi, Oprah.
Hi, Oprah.
Okay, and Sandra and Julia Roberts. Okay, you just heard it here yourself. Miracles. These things happen all the time. Your guys' magic doesn't work on us. My mother and I are bored. Speaking of mothers, Deborah Messing's mother told me when I was like, why should I do this? Oh, so I told you my mom was at a shop and they came to her and put her back in the program. I was at the shop. I quit, by the way, to take care of my mom 24/7 all the time. And I was happy. I'd finished all the music because my joy is to make it and do the art behind it. So, but I hate being stolen from. So my joy has been fulfilled. And so I'm like, okay, I quit. I'm happy. I want to just chill. And of course, the Menoptera come for me. I was at the shop. I don't even know how they... I'm at the shop and I'm buying something and this lady comes next to me and she says, don't buy that. You're not going to like it. So I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. This is IRL, by the way. So then the lady, the cashier behind the shop, she's like, hey, aren't you making musical stuff? Because sometimes I tell her what I'm up to and whatever. So then the lady next to me, I'm like, oh yeah, I've finished the new music project and no one likes me though. I went to East Coast and no one cared. The lady said, why don't you take it to East Coast or whatever? And I was like, nah, they don't care. And then the lady who had come in after me goes, I have a radio station. I'll put you in there. And then I was like, oh, here we go again. You cannot leave the program, okay? And once they rope you back in, you discover things that make you happy to be in the program. So to all of you who are stressing right now about all the things that are happening, I just want you to relax. Because you've seen live with my own mom who told A, she's an alien, B, she just had a miracle. Okay, so when I said Damien Charles Hurley, I was looking from here and I was creating an entity. So let me just give you, for example's sake, okay, this is for example's sake. I'm just going to put DCH. This is not witchcraft. Calm down, Tasha K. Tasha, I can hear you. Woo! Okay, winos. I'm telling you, when I was undercover at that tech company, Tasha K got me through that shit. Okay. Just like Kathy Griffin got me after this agent got me back in the game. Then Kathy came for me. Okay. So I've created this egregore. Yes, you can call it an egregore. I like saying egregore because it's more voodoo. Egg. I'll put egg. Okay? So here's an egg I've created. So now I can leave it open because it's a semiotic. It's a semiotic. That's another word for it. It's a semiotic. Now you know why I'm so dangerous. So it's a semiotic. Okay? I just created a semiotic. Now I can leave it open. Meaning I just leave that there and whatever anyone wants to think, they can think whatever they want to think. But me being here, I know what everyone's going to think. Everyone's going to think I have a crush on Damien. So I'm going to put there, crush. Now everyone knows I have no ability to love like that. So that's why this is safe. Okay. Individuals doesn't work. Okay, so now I'm up here all the time and I'm controlling all of you because now you think I have a crush on Damien. So now this is the magic. Some witch bitch who doesn't know me, who thinks they're in a society where they paid money only and they didn't actually do the descent of Inanna that Prince Andrew's doing now, Prince Andrew's going to be fine. It's the rest of you who will not be fine because Prince Andrew took the L. That's all we want. And we let you go. You do the descent of Inanna and you'll be fine. Okay. So some witch bitch now that I'm watching is going to go to Damien. First in the realms because they're watching this television program happening here in IG. This is Instagram. Instagram is happening in the 1D, but some witch bitch is going to have an idea, a scheme, because this is where schemes come from. And they'll have a flash. Maybe they'll see a picture of a Porsche. They'll see Porsche, and then immediately it'll seed a thought into them that says murder, kill, torture, bind. That's how psychos think, or fragmented people. That's all they hear. Bind, torture, kill, murder. Bind, that's all they think. That's why you can't talk to them like a normal human being. Anyone who's ever accepted a bribe in their life, you cannot talk to them like a normal human being. Okay, so when this witch bitch sees this, they have an idea, a picture, then they get a thought, Then they go to Damien. Already they've made an egregore. So this also becomes an entity. See, so many entities just from the internet. So now this entity is feeding on him and it thinks it's feeding on me. But actually, it's feeding on my mental cover or my method cover. I'm nowhere to be seen, nowhere to be found ever. It's like Madonna says, nobody knows me. Nobody knows me. Nobody knows me like you know me. I don't read magazines. I don't watch TV. I literally have no idea what's happening. I don't have time. Okay, when I turn off the thing, I have to go make food. I have to go check on the water people. I have to go shit on people's faces for not doing what I tell them to do. I'm very nice in real life. Okay, so we're busy watching all of this happen, right? From Hydra. So now there's a witch bitch here. Let's call him Victor. I don't know. The dad from Charmed, Victor. Now Victor has created, let's make this another entity, entity B, EB. So now this entity B doesn't have a human other than Victor, but Victor actually wants Damien to get to me. So this entity needs to feed on a main source. So now this entity will go to the mental realm and start broadcasting thoughts like Wi-Fi, like adverts, and it waits to catch people. This is where the praying mantis is. You heard it in my video. It makes your skin crawl. So this one will catch you. Everyone who's ever taken a bribe is controlled by a black widow, Mother Fragger, and a granddaddy, Father Fragger, praying mantis, which you will see in Steven Spielberg's film later this month, next month. Okay, well, in this pulse, because I'm using Pentaclia. So this thing will go down into the etheric and make people act weird. And then those people will recruit your children, and then your children will end up smoking crack or something because of whatever happened all the way. And then you try to convert your child from crack over here. Meanwhile, your child is smoking crack in 50 billion other bodies. So let him smoke the crack. He'll figure it out on his own. Or not. So what? So now that I've made this, let's say this witch bitch says, okay, I'm going to influence Damien. So now Damien's down here minding his business, being hot and acting and everything with this amazing, gorgeous mom, 57 on the clock. So then Damien starts seeing, okay, what's happening to me? Why am I feeling this? Why am I dreaming about Charlie? Why am I thinking this? What's happening? What's happening? And then Damien might accuse me of doing something to him because this witch bitch is going to tell him to use me as a mask. And then everyone will think I'm the bad guy. Like Nicki Minaj, they'll make me the bad guy in this game. Well, you've never seen a bad guy like this before. Okay? So then, or what I hope, if it were real, if I could, I mean, is if someone, anyone, in this example, let's use Damien, could also be an agent and could see it all happening. And instead of being a toss, come to me and say, hey, do you see what I'm seeing? Yes, let's band up together and kill these mother fraggers from up here. We found them, now let's kill them. Get the code. Like my mom just got the code. Yeah. So Kate Hudson's my new sister because the old one, when I was in Asia, did not look after my mother correctly. And so I had to come and take over. And that's all we'll say on the matter. This is my true Hollywood moment. I've sacrificed it. I've paid the due from the rounds. And then you're going to see what's going to unlock for me now. And the boring part over here. I wonder what they're gonna give me this time. What are you gonna give me, Daddy E? You gave me pictures. You gave me videos. You gave me Peter. Okay, so for the next part of the show, let's read Gavin Newsom. So I wanted to tell you all of that other stuff so you know that I don't blame anyone, actually. Whether you're a friend of the show or you're an enemy of the show. Not blame, because we need enemies to fuel us, right? Like I said, we don't eat, we feed. We have a feed, a security feed up here. And we feed on all of creation. Okay, so thanks for coming. That's the real Illuminati. So now we are doing this guy. And I need Krishna. I need Jesus for this one. Of the realms. So this is called masala incense, and it helps you connect to Hydra. Okay? Oh, it smells so beautiful. It connects you to here. Now you have to be 3 generations in a family in order to touch this, to make it, I mean. So you can't just make this in a factory in your backyard. Your father had to make this, his recipe. Your grandfather had to make it, and your great-grandfather had to touch it. So this is going way up. I guess Gavin doesn't want to talk. Let's use our magic again. I need a lighter, quick, please. Oh my, that was quick. So, you're not going to get away that easy, Newsom. This smells gorgeous, by the way. Yes. Now, it is natural ingredients, so it is, very, very potent stuff. Smell that. Now, one of my first missions that I did, I had to fall in love with someone corporate in order to get some information. And so I did my whole, I used Will Smith as a template. So I basically looked like Will Smith. I dressed in tight pants, business casual all the time, so that my ass could, stick out in the pants in the office, stuff like that. And it worked, obviously. But what I realized about men in that operation is that men just want one thing. They want you to tell them their dick's nice. And if you do that, you can get them to do almost anything. So, I'm going to burn some black magic so that our next guest reveals all the tricks that are happening in the etheric. Now, this is charcoal incense. Anyone can make it. You can go make it yourself, buy a stick, and then go dip it at home. See, easy to light. It's a Yetzira because it's got its own water. It's full of water. It's easy. This is black magic. So we're going to see what they've been doing. And then finally we need focus. Focus, hocus pocus. Don't worry, the other shows will be about 40 minutes. This is the premiere. I know, it's so much fun. I get to... So this is masala incense as well. It's so fun. I get to combine. Oh, beautiful. My program is online. Thank you, Jesus. So this is focus. Oh. So, okay, so let's get to Mr. Newsom. First of all, I'm going to need a Bible verse for this. So what do you have to say? Jesus Christ, words in red. And behold, I am coming quickly, and my reward is with me, to give to everyone according to his work. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. I, Jesus, have sent my angel to testify to you these things in the churches. I am the root and the offspring of David, the bright and morning star. Surely I am coming quickly. So, Mr. Newsom, Jesus approves of my show. So let's see what you have got to let us know. So we're going to start with Manly P. Hall. And we're going to do it after these messages.